Hello and welcome to SoBricks. I'm Adam and this is SoBricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Marvel Spider-Man Mech versus Anti-Venom. This is set number 76308. It has 107 pieces and I paid $15 for this set. So this is from the new run of the Mech armor suits. I like these sets generally. There's some that I like more than others. I don't know if there's been a conscious switch, because with this release, with the Venom one, it came with a Miles Morales figure and a Venom, but oftentimes these came with only one figure, basically the figure that was going to be in the suit. The Batman one was like that, but for this release for 2025, this one came out. There was a Superman that came with the Superman mech armor, and then a Lex Luthor. There was also an Iron Man that came with Iron Man as well as Ultron. Now, I think that's really cool, especially to get figures and characters that maybe haven't been represented before, haven't been in minifigure form before, but I'm curious to see how I think about that in terms of value, because notably this does have, and same with the Iron Man one, I believe, quite a bit fewer pieces than many of the other ones. And also, you know, for this one, at the very least, I know that these feet appear to be one stud wide, which is generally not my favorite. So interested to see this. I'm excited about this Anti-Venom figure, and we'll see what we have here, because generally I like these, and we'll see if the value proposition remains the same. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it while I build. I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Marvel Spider-Man Mech versus Anti-Venom set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up, and if you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can get there someday, and I appreciate all the help. This comes together really quick, and I do a pretty thorough job reviewing it, so thank you, and now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is the Spider-Man Mech versus Anti-Venom. This is an interesting set, and I'm not sure, because I'm not like super up to date on different Marvel properties or Spider-Man stuff, how popular Anti-Venom is. I was really excited to see a new character represented in minifigure form. There's the set that came out that has the Spot in it, and I really want that one. $50 seems like kind of a lot, and there's a lot of stickers for the sort of corner shop in that set, but I'm still pretty interested in it. But all that is to say, like, the Anti-Venom is an interesting character. I think they appear in, well, certainly comics. Don't think they're in any of the universe stuff. I don't think they've appeared in Spider-Verse animated movies. I don't think they've appeared in any of the live-action Marvel. I believe they've been in plenty of video games, occasionally as sort of a skin for Venom, but I was still really excited to see this character here, and we will get right into things here. And so the first thing we will take a look at is the minifigures, because you do get some. So the first one is a Spider-Man minifigure. This is a pretty standard Spider-Man, Peter Parker style red and blue suit Spider-Man. Head printing, normal. Eyes should maybe be whiter, but I'm just used to getting this figure at this point. Back of the head has the checkerboard there. Torso is good, it's on red, and the blue is really nice. Musculature is nice. The webbing for the red is good. We do have printing on the arms, which is really nice to see. Still no printing on the midsection, no printing on the legs. Back of the torso has the spider logo, slightly different than the one up front, just different kind of shape, and then has the web pattern there. This is a very standard Spider-Man figure. They do have the kind of clear bar element with the stud on it, as well as a hollow stud in white that can be put in their hand. And then they have a web blast here where I think this is a new piece. So this is kind of interesting. It's actually two pieces. We just have the bar element here, and then this piece. This is the like flexible rubber, and it's kind of in a cone shape, and I believe this is new. And the interesting thing about this is it's like hexagonal, but as you can see, we have 3 of the points have like a bar element there that, you know, we could clip on to, I'm assuming. It should be, but it is rubber, so we can maybe get it something like that. But then the other ones have like a receiving end for a bar element, which means you could put something else in there to extend this out. But what that also means is we can kind of close this web up, something like that. And because of the friction in there and the way this works, that can actually stay closed. I don't think it'd be super easy or recommended to try to like close all of them at once, but you can, you know, fold these over and get those in there, which is a really nice consideration. And then it just has the hole at the back, which takes the rod here really nicely. There's on this bar element, there's like the little wider part there, and actually the smaller part, you know, this butts right up to that bigger diameter piece, and it's really flush in here, so that's nicely considered. And then this can be put on Spider-Man's hand, something like that. Weight wise, it's not too bad. It's not great, but it also, because of like the size of it, you know, it'd be possible to have Spider-Man kind of holding this and being able to stand and sort of shooting this out. I don't know if it's possible to have them balance with it, you know, much above their head, but, you know, playing around with that could be fine. So that was interesting. And then the other character we get here is Anti-Venom. So I don't know what version this is, if it's Eddie Brock in here or one of the other characters. That Anti-Venom is a symbiote. I'm used to seeing them as sort of an anti-hero similar to Venom. I feel like Venom is sometimes a villain, sometimes a hero, sometimes an anti-hero. And I'm used to Anti-Venom kind of being related to Venom, but distinct in terms of its powers and abilities, and obviously the color scheme is a lot different, kind of reversed here. So they do have a curly Q little symbiote squiggle piece in white there, and then looking at the headpiece, it's similar to a kind of Venom head, where the kind of the symbiote like black face there, the glowing eyes and the mouth. There's some good detail in there, including like under the bottom of the head, or like on down to the chin. Back of the head is bare. Looking at the torso, white torso, does have the nice kind of Venom spider logo on the front in black. We can see some of the musculature there. No printing on the midsection, no printing on the legs, no printing on the arms. Back of the torso feels very much the same there. And I think, you know, in the lore, this was either like a Venom symbiote that interacted with Mr. Negative, perhaps, or some other things. They might have some regenerative properties, healing properties that kind of lend themselves more to hero, anti-hero rather than villain, and then it is sort of like counteract to Venom. Doesn't have the same weaknesses as other symbiote characters. And I have not played the Spider-Man 2 game for the PlayStation 5. I don't have a PlayStation 5. I have played the first one for the PS4, and it's on PC now and stuff too. And I also played the Miles Morales one, but I have not played the new one, and I don't know for sure if Anti-Venom makes an appearance there. But I think, like I said, they're maybe used as a skin for Venom in various things. I don't know if they're in Rivals or if they're in there's a million Marvel games. And I think this character is in those, in a lot of them. So cool to see them represented here. They have a similar color scheme to the Spot, with the black and white, which I really, really like black and white stuff. So this really jumped out to me. It almost reminds me of like, you know, the light Vader from the Dark Millennium Falcon. You know, we get like a essentially like kind of inverse color swapped character in some ways, and this almost feels like a color swapped Venom, hence the Anti-Venom there. So that's that. And then when we're looking at the webbing here, maybe in this case, Spider-Man is needing to get Anti-Venom for something, so we can put them in the web and then fold that together and put one of the bar pieces into the receiving kind of hollow pieces there, and they stay in there pretty well. So now you can, I think in a lot of ways this is a lot better at, you know, capturing somebody, webbing them in a way here than I've seen. And I guess I want to say this is a new part. That's what I felt like. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it might be, maybe I have seen it before. I can't tell at this point, but let me know if you know in the comments if this is a new piece or it's been around for a while. I just really like its use here, so that's pretty cool that we can have that there. And then the rest of the set is the Spider-Man mech, and this is interesting. So it is a mech like many others. It starts with the same kind of back piece and the torso piece. So this folds down. We have a spot in here for a figure to sit. This front part is clipped on in the red. Really nice printed Nexonite shield there. I'm very pleased to see that. I think I've seen other ones there, but this one is like new, unique. The white is okay. Could be better. Could always be better printing right on red. You build out the back a little bit to have the Mixel like ball joints in there, build it out a little bit more. There is a clip on the back, just one solo clip, which is cool. That is actually to store the sort of minifigure accessory web slinging thing. So I always love when they make accommodations for that, and you know, just that clip there instead of a cheese wedge or something else goes a long way, in my opinion. And then this one does have a waist, so the there's a Technic pin there, goes into a Technic brick. We build the waist up, pretty small, narrow, but does use the red ingots on the side, which is good for kind of the color scheme here. Use a couple of these corner tiles in there as well, which is very good. The legs are the same right to left, essentially. They're just mirrored. They do use the like bent mech arms here in red, or mech arms legs, the mech pieces in red, and then we build that up a little bit. We use like a white bracket with some tile and the like tooth piece in the blue Nexonite shield there. Same on the other side. We just have different kind of stuff there for the patterning. Nothing in the center hole on those, but then on the bottom we essentially just have another Nexonite shield. It's a little bit thicker up at the thigh with the inverted tile and the extra, you know, width because of the plates and brackets in there, and then it slims down a little bit at the calf area, which I think looks pretty good actually. You can swing these legs, you know, a decent way back, not as far forward, can splay them out, can turn them around. Pretty good range of motion, all things considered, but like let's see if I can get them to balance on maybe one leg here, and I don't have the minifigure in there right now, but yeah, that's possible, to just have them on one leg, something like that. They can't like bend their knee necessarily or get into a super convincing 3-point stance, but this one maybe is better than some other ones. It can approximate it in some way, so that's good. And then the feet are identical, and one of my things that I don't like about these mechs is when they have feet that are one stud wide. I think it makes sense for this character look wise to kind of have slender feet, narrower feet, and it is pretty stable So being able to like set this down and being able to play with it and set it down and get it back to a place where it will be sturdy is not that difficult. I think the look of the feet is good. They're super simple to build using that like 1x5 rounded plate there, and then a clip and a hollow stud rounded plate, and then a bar element with a mixel ball joint on the end of it. The feet, we can do a little bit forward and back on those, and then a lot of side to side, and we can spin these around as well. So again, like the feet, if we have this standing, we have the bend in the knee, but this is pretty stable there, even though they are only one stud wide, and if you flare them out like that, you can kind of get some decent stability. I think maybe this changes my opinion on the one stud wide feet. I think I might still prefer them to be wider. It doesn't even have to be a full 2 studs. They could build some sideways building or do some different stuff, and I might have liked that, especially because it's a mech armor thing. It doesn't need to share all of the same kind of agile, slim, athletic kind of aspects of Spider-Man themselves. And then we have the arms. The arms are done nearly identical, so they attach with the mixel ball joints up there, can spin around. They cannot like come all the way close because of some of the stuff around the shoulder. We have like the kind of U-shaped piece in there, 1x4, have a fender in there, and then some of these kind of slope pieces up there. They can't lift like straight up like this. They can lift something like that, like put them up. We can get there. We can get them out front okay. It can't, having them at the side is not too bad, but like moving them forward, then there's just too much interference here, so it isn't going to come forward like exactly straight, but that is okay, and that's a problem that a lot of these mechs have, or all of these mechs have. So we can do that. Do use a nice slope here covering up this. These are on blue instead, which really works for the color blocking. I think that is really nice. Different kind of corner tiles here. We got the 3 kind of claw fingers there, the 1 thumb there, inverted tile. And then the only main difference, or real difference, is that this hand has an extra little thing kind of in the palm area. That is so we can put the web blast thing in this character's hand, and we can kind of get the fingers to sort of do the Spider-Man sort of thing, even though it's like 4 fingers instead of 5, and they can look like they are blasting a web off here and maybe going to catch, or they could carry Anti-Venom or a number of these other figures in there, and the weight distribution of that is fine. It's very stable. I can pop Spider-Man in there so we can see what that looks like, and that's everything that's in this set. What it lacks in being able to like move the arms across the body, you get a little bit with the rotating hips, so just being able to swing this around is pretty useful when we can't like normally cross or like close the arms or have the arms kind of cross over the torso or over the chest at all. So we can spin this around, and yeah, I think this is actually pretty good. The thing that's notable about it is it is narrower in many respects. It is like lighter, which might feel right for Spider-Man, but there's like just less bulk, less mass in the waist hip area, less stuff, just overall lighter weight wise, and less materials here in the legs and in the arms than some of the other mechs I'm used to seeing. Maybe that makes sense for Spider-Man, maybe not, but like I haven't had any real issues with the weight or the friction or anything, and I think this is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of including the clip on the back for that extra little thing there. Makes it more difficult to lose that. It also means if I'm playing with this and I have that there, if I need to pop Spider-Man out of the mech suit, like, it is very close by, and so then we can get into other stuff there. If I don't know how, like, we can kind of get this into some swinging poses, and maybe not like a bunch because we can't like fold the legs forward a lot to do a somersault or do something else like that. But there's a good amount of articulation, and so about as much as other ones, which is good. I mean, I'm glad it's not worse than what it is. And that's everything that's in this set. So I will show the extra pieces here in a moment, because you do get an extra of both of the clear piece and the white stud. So I don't know actually if I make one of those, like an additional one of the one I have clipped back here, if I can put that in Spidey's hand and then have them sit in here, that may not quite work. So you can't close it up then if you are to do that. You can get pretty close though. So, you do get an extra of both of those pieces to maybe make an extra one. The rest of the stuff we have here is the Technic pin, the red tile, cheese wedge, hollow stud, all of your good stuff there. And that is it. And this set is 107 pieces, 2 minifigures, and it costs $15. So I did mention at the beginning that it felt like the piece count was a little bit lower than some of the other mech suit ones. I think and I made the comment that maybe it was because like they're putting 2 figures in these for like this wave instead of just one, when they did Hulk and Rocket and Thanos, when they did Batman, when they did the Star Wars ones, when they've done a lot of these previously, it's been like one figure. The Venom one was a little bit different. The War Machine one was one figure. So I don't know if they're moving in this way, and maybe that means that there's going to be a little less building going on just because we are getting that extra figure. I think in this case, it's a unique figure. I don't know how many sets they're going to be in or how many versions of Anti-Venom we're going to get. This may end up being one of, if not the only, it may be currently the only way to get that character, which is valuable in itself. But 107 pieces, 107, I don't feel like I've lost too much. The Superman one with Lex Luthor, I think, is 120 pieces, and then like 120 plus is, I feel like maybe more so what I'm used to. It could be that like the Rocket one was maybe slightly less, or I don't know. I'd have to look back and see what all the piece counts were, but this one does feel a little light to me. And the Iron Man one I think is also less than normal, but this one, the Iron Man one, comes with Ultron and Iron Man. The Superman one comes with Superman and Lex Luthor. So if we're getting 2 figures, that adds a little more play, potentially more display in this case, because you can kind of have them both going on. And then getting like characters that we maybe wouldn't normally get, I think is really nice. It just so happens that like for this, or for Batman, and Iron Man for that matter, like the base figures, like this Spider-Man figure is not particularly valuable. It's not particularly interesting. It's not new. And so, these are a dime a dozen. And so I don't even know, like, I don't want to put, you know, $5 on this and $5 on this, because I don't think that's what the breakdown is. But it is kind of nice when we're getting kind of a run-of-the-mill character, a character that is in a lot of sets, and it's like the most basic version of that character. Then getting kind of a more special one feels about right. And yeah, I don't think we've lost too much here, even with the slightly lower piece count, and I'm not 100% certain that it is that much lower. It just was my feeling, my instinct when I saw this and when I put this together. Overall, I think this is pretty good. $15 for the 2 figures, kind of a unique figure, plus the mech set I think is great. I'm glad it's not 16, and I'm glad it's not even more than that. I think 15 is a really good price point for these, and it's not uncommon to find these on sale as well. I think I just recently saw the Venom one with Miles Morales for like under $10 at a certain retailer, and that's true for the other ones as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see this be dropped down. I think 15 is super fair. You know, 20% off brings it down to $12, and that would be really great too. So I'm happy with this. I like it more than I thought I would. I like the feet more than I thought I would. I'm very happy to get this figure, and I think the value is really good. So I'm excited to look at the Iron Man one and the Superman one, and that is it for this. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more LEGO Marvel, more DC, more of these mechs, and then tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming LEGO videos. Subscribing is free. It helps me a lot. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing. Thank you very much. And then if you wanted to support the channel by giving money to the channel, you could do that here on YouTube with membership supers and thanks. There's a link to the Patreon in the video description and on my channel page. There's some affiliate links in there. There'll be a link to buy this set, that if you use that link to buy this set or anything else, I believe I'll maybe earn like a really small commission, which is just another way to try to generate some sort of way to make this a little more financially sound. I love doing this. I'm not going to stop doing it. I pay for everything with my own money, and that's okay. I'm happy to do it. It brings me a lot of joy. So if you enjoy it, that's great. But I'm going to keep doing this. If you wanted to give back, there are ways you can do that, and yeah, it is appreciated, but it's not needed, but it is appreciated. So thank you very much. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.